Alrighty then, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy like one half and duo, and well, doing an LBC video in a way, and I have to provide you guys something to watch because it's been a busy week. But the news has keep on coming, stuff has keep on going, and the usual stuff of gaming is keep on going lower and lower and lower and lower. Now, funny people keep on saying AAA gaming. Now that has a different meaning now. I mean, I don't know, assault from annoying assholes. Maybe that's what it should be. But AAA gaming, that's what people want, people crave. We want this game, we want this. So whatever. Now, Konami is what we're going to talk about, but I give a nod off to Capcom for that. You have to download the Mega Man Collection, which is not a big game, and they want to give you half. And I can understand. I can kind of understand Revelations, and again, it worked out for them. So, but Mega Man Collection, whatever. We're gonna buy it anyway. So, but just a little tap of the hat to Konami for what it is. But we're gonna be talking about. I want to talk about something. I'm gonna use a visual, which of course is gonna get me copyrighted. But again, I don't make this for money, so I'll let it use this a visual. Since the age of 2006, gaming has gone a particular way. It was a renaissance in 2006. Different games, different kind of products. The games were selling like crazy. You could make tons of money. Software was lighting up the charts, from Call of Duty to Mario Kart Wii to to Grand Theft Auto. Great games, great stuff, things going on. But the seventh generation kind of proceeded and foretell what's going to happen now, which is people forget what games came from. When an influx of new people into the gaming market, most I call them social gamers, who came into the market and used popularity, graphics, just to justify them being one of the cool kids or the cool geeks. Geekhood's now becoming a cool mainstay now. And when doing that, that created a false floor. A floor where people was talking about how good the games are. This is great going forward. And I will not be lying. I thought I was a part of that narrative in a way too. When I got my Wii, I was like, wow. When I first saw the Wii U controller, like I said, the Wii controller, let me point out, the Wii controller, I was like, what the hell? How are you going to play games with this Nintendo? That's kind of weird, blah, blah, blah. But I got the console, played Zelda Twilight Princess, one of my favorite Zelda games. It's dropped below Breath of the Wild is #1 now, but it was one of my favorite Zelda games. Smash Brothers and Metroid Corruptions, Metroid Prime 3 Corruptions, other Arc of Fantasia, all other games that Red Steel 2, all kind of games that I enjoyed and I fell in love with on the Wii. That we have over 50 games for the daggone thing. That's not included digital, which is awesome. So I was also on that platform, thinking gaming could get better. We have more innovative motion controls. I see the way. I see what you could do. Innovate control. Connect is trying to do something. Move is trying to do something. Like, all right, we're moving to a way where game is going to be, kind of cool. Well, then I start seeing the chinks in the armor when 2013 came around. When the Wii U came out, and people argued now about graphics. Graphics. When the Wii U came out and people saw that a lot of developers start lying, but they didn't believe in them because they didn't care what this company thought. When Xbox 360, Xbox One got launched, and Matrix said, "Hey, you need to just if you don't need online gaming, you have a device for you which is called the Xbox 360." When people said they didn't want DRMs, and Don Matrix said it on ET floor, and people got angry, and it was like, "Oh, this is crazy. We don't want no DRMs. We don't do all this stuff." Funny how that works out. Sony smartly saw that same problem because Sony was going to do the exact same thing that year. Saw that was going to be a problem. Switched their whole dialogue just because of what happened to Xbox, and slowly implemented the same thing as Xbox did. Even though Xbox came out and told you up front about their lies, Sony lied about it and slowly implemented it piece by piece. And to be a little graphic, they ease that dick into the gamers' assholes of today, because they bought it hook, line, and sinker. And the reason I'm saying that because of DRM, because Nintendo the Wii U came out, it was a gaming console. It had a TV feature, but it was a gaming console. No installs. You had to install no game to play. Online wasn't as fantastic as Xbox One. I always give credit to where credit due. Never was as fantastic as Xbox One, but was rarely down, and you play games for free. Was the features that great? No, but it did what it's supposed to do: sell me games that I wanted to get off the eShop, and I could play them and play with my friends when I wanted. When 2013 or 14, I think it was, when Christmas Day, when everybody would have been home playing the gamers were both playing their new systems and having fun and everything. PlayStation Network and Xbox was also down while people were playing Smash Brothers on their Wii. It was 2014, yeah. They were playing their Smash Brothers. Who would have thought? But a lot of gamers voiced their opinions of saying Nintendo was wrong, and as we see that the Wii U sold only close to 15 million, and the Switch surpassed it within less than a year. And I still gotta take that clip out of video that showed that Nintendo the Switch made gamers, media, and publishers show them that they're full of shit. But I digress to that point. With that came the whole AAA gaming in 2007. People keep on talking about that. Well, this is what we get. This is what we get now. So I want to play a little clip here because this is basically, this thing works in two ways. This is a metaphor for me in two ways of what's going on with gaming now. And if you've been listening to Enduro podcast from Enduro podcast and videos in the last from since this channel been on the YouTube, I've foreseen and most of my, not even most, close to 95% of our predictions of how the gaming industry is going to go has been going that way. And it's sad, but I've said before, I don't have to. If this is the way gaming is gonna be, then you know what? I'll just quit. I ain't gonna quit, but I'll just be what it is. Oops, no need to sound. It's gonna be what it is. So let's go here. This scene, of course, you know where this scene is from, but it's a good representation of the industry. This right here is a smug look of gamers riding high, thinking we're gonna get great games, and yes, we want all this stuff because gaming is so great now. Majority gamers now, social media gamers, basically too. This is the pinnacle of being cocky, thinking everything is going right. I can get any game I want. no matter what anybody say is gonna happen, I'm the head cheese. These are gamers. This is what gamers are today. Just cocky and thinking that it is. That's what it is all about. These guys, gamers are coming back. Right here is behind the ship, of course. It's basically AAA gaming. And Xbox and Sony somewhere in there. But AAA gaming. Because if it was most of the games that sell on Xbox and Sony and PlayStation 4 is Xbox, that makes some things is AAA is third-party games. Sony and Microsoft barely have their first party standing up. Now they have. Sony has the. I'll be honest. Sony has a good plethora of games coming out, exclusive coming out this year of 2018, and happy for them. And that might add on to when I ever buy a PlayStation Slim, that I would get that and play some games that I think that is just like I did my Vita, buy the exclusive games that I couldn't get and have fun with it. But that's what this is right here. So I would say this is kind of like, this is basically the Nintendo right. This is Nintendo right here, resurging back up to the top just to be an asshole about it. And I admit I would be an asshole about it. You know, you count them down, you think that's gonna happen. You count them down, you think that's gonna happen, and they just burst back on the scene with the Switch and told you, oh, it's great. And of course, the gamer is like, oh, here they come Nintendo. They're gonna fall in line. They're gonna be a part of what's going on. They're gonna do exactly what we want, and then to join to make the game that we want. That's what most gamers think. Now they're thinking, oh yes, Nintendo's gonna go on because everybody said, oh, Nintendo's great now because we have third-party games. Which again, the Wii U have more third-party games than the Switch in the first year. Still does. Why? But because I give it to the Switch has a bigger name like Bethesda stuff, and again credit to Bethesda and the team that ported Doom to put in motion controls. You basically maybe now we're gonna buy my game for the Switch even though I have it on PC. I'll buy the game for the Switch too because I speak when I want it and I want to support good developers in that regard. So hey, there you go, Bethesda and I forgot the team that did the port. My hat's off to you. Thank you. I will be buying the game for double dip in that game because that's what I want to see. People who make the effort and make the game unique in ways that I like, in games that what it is. Don't mean that you can't be for PlayStation or whatever, as basically like Resident Evil Revelation did collection. PlayStation, Xbox, yeah, you want to use the thumbsticks? Go ahead. No, I have no problem with it. I have nothing against multi-platform games. It should be, but if you have a chance to make the game unique for a platform because the platform provided it, if Connect was there and you could do with Connect, unlike other people, I had a problem with the Connect. The same thing with the Move or anything or PlayStation Eye. Same thing with VR. You want to put VR set up to it? Go right ahead. Make it you because that's what the platform is. So I'm cool with that. See, this is what everybody was thinking. Oh, the Switch, just Nintendo comeback. Switch is all good, whatever. But you know what? This is the realization of gamers thinking, well, this ain't working out where it's supposed to work out. They're supposed to fall in line. They're supposed to follow what all the other third parties are doing. This is not what we want. And of course, this is Nintendo blazing themselves their own path. Again, I'm being an asshole about it. Because Nintendo has their own faults. I did a video just about Nintendo's flaws with the Switch. So it's not Nintendo's no perfect company either. Again, but this scene right here points out something that is quite fetching to me. How the industry is killing itself. The briquette right now, is basically what most gamers are like, wait, this can't happen. This is what's going on because the industry is imploding itself. It shouldn't. We have the better system. We have the better AAA. We have more power. We have better graphics. We can do all this stuff. What's going on? This should never be happening. This should never happen. But a console that's less powerful just plays games. Don't have money installs for their games. Don't have money installed for their games is whipping the ass of other people. I wonder who said that back in 2016 with the sales numbers. Again, I predicted it, but then whatever. Again, blow my horn again, being an asshole. This right here is a realization that, wow, we think gaming is going better. Nope, it's destroying stuff around us. This is the new crash. It's going to be coming soon for gaming because things are going not the way people think they're going to go. That's what this scene is representing right now. And I've been saying for a long time. Now, this right here represents two things. Even though he's a bad guy, I'll be like, this part of the scene right here represent what I'm trying to say. Right? In this moment, I'm like Beckett in a way. Thinking, I'm seeing the destruction going on, and you know what? I'm not fazed by it. I'm just like, forget this. Let it destroy, because you know what? Y'all wanted this, and I don't care. So you know what? If the gaming, when people talk about the Xbox Live thing with Phil Spencer, which also Phil Spencer's article about Phil Spencer, I might put it in the description box later on, talking about how toxic and how messed up the Xbox division is, and how they were saying, he said in 2018, there's no people innovating games, which we know Nintendo did, and all kind of stuff with Nintendo Labo and all the other stuff. But again, and he was talking about how gaming is, and it is a true remnant, a true resonance of what gaming is from his perspective. And it's sad that he realizes it now, but hey, it is what it is. When people are trained about, oh, all games gonna go digital. I want games to be digital. I don't want no cartridges. I don't want no this. I want all that stuff. But don't know what the. But remember, people said they didn't want DRM, which is a digital game, and mostly is a DRM because you can't sell it, can't do whatever. You need internet access to get it. You can't get it in the other way and stuff like that. This is me just like looking like, you know what, it's destroyed. I'm just walking out the door. I don't care no more. But this also is, flip it, this also the gamers who are ignoring the destruction around them. And this part, because coming to the end right here, they knowing the destruction around them, so they can, because they don't see that the game industry is gonna crash, destroy itself. That's what's going on in the gaming industry right now. And it's sad. And it's sad, really sad. And the reason I brought all that illusion to it is because of this. Konami gave you Ground Zero for Metal Gear Solid. That's a Metal Gear is a fall into me. It has fallen from its grace. Konami give you Metal Gear Ground. Full game price for basically a demo. People bought it. People enjoyed it. I'm never going to take away from people's enjoyment, but people bought it. People went crazy about it. So that's what happened. That's what's happening with gaming now. What up, Melman? Then they gave you Metal Gear Phantom Pain 5. Lo and behold, game was a financial flop. Nobody wants. I'm like me and a couple people. The only person who brings up there was a financial flop. And Konami points it out themselves. It was a financial flop. But also, you had a microtransaction in the game that was ridiculous, which was you had to pay real money for base insurance in a game. Yeah. Remember, Need for Speed, real gas, real money for fake gas, and loot boxes and everything that went out in 2008, 17. And people, is coming on that. You got to pay for smoke and weapons progression, and all. Like I said, all that stupidity. Do we think gamers gonna learn from this? No, they're gonna keep on buying it. Do you think the AAA people gonna learn from this? No, they're not gonna learn from this, because Ubisoft now changed it from, they're not making games no more, they're making game services. That was at their meeting last month. They're gonna turn gaming into game services now. Oh, whoopee. Great. Game services. Even though you got a couple of games that didn't know that did great without that, but great. Now we got game services. And also Sony said the same thing about their thing, about in their before Andrew House left. And they're gonna do game services as well instead of just giving you a product. Goody. That makes me feel much more happy. Well, let's turn to now. You think after people are shocked and surprised now about Metal Gear Survival. I'm not, and I know some people are like, oh, you gotta be. I ain't gonna be angry. I ain't gotta be, because I was not gonna buy the game. But I will say Konami has balls. If I were to give the Big Balls Award goes to Konami. I see some stuff happening early this year. I gotta give it to Konami. Big Balls Award goes to Konami at first. Why? Because Konami came out with Metal Gear Solid. I'm not Solid, Metal Gear Survivor. And they took, you thought that a loot box and everything could get no crazy? Hey, it's bad enough with UFC, with EA charging you for daggone moves, a powerful jab to another powerful jab. They're charging you that, which is also asinine. But people are going to buy it because that's just where they are. Now you're gonna spend $10 for an extra save slot. So if you have a different game or you get customized character, you want to save it here, but you want to save the other, then you want to save it someplace else, you gotta pay $10 for an extra save slot. Oh wait, it's not over yet. This game is a single player game. Oh wait, it's still up. There's more microtransaction and loot boxes. It couldn't be no worse than that, Liger. Oh yeah, and since it's a single player game, always online. 2018, and this crap is still happening, and they're taking it down further and further and further. Yeah. Oh, a crash will be coming, and it's going to be bad. But like I said, I tell anybody out there, buy the games you like, mostly if you can, physically if you can. Indies are different because they have to be digital. I respect that, but other than that, I'm buying my games physical like I always been buying my games physical. Oh, but you're gonna lose your cartridge. I didn't lose my 3DS's cartridge or my PS Vita cartridge or my Game Boy cartridge or my Game Boy Advance cartridge. So why would now this cartridge be any different? It's so weird. I just want to have it there so I can play a game all the time, whatever. Well, if you're a smart gamer, you will have a couple games. If you're traveling, you will have a couple games with you, 1 and 2. If you can't pull out your pouch or whatever to put a game in that you want to play, like I get an example, like me when I went down to St. Thomas when there's no power and things are bad, whatever. I had my Zelda thing, of course, that had games in it. Put in a game I really wanted to play at the time. When I need a little break from that game, I have a couple digital games, which is digital. We call it mostly indies. I would say I don't have a full digital game on my Switch. Like I have a Renegade Riptide, or at the time what I had Renegade Riptide, Implosion. I have those games. I use that to clean the palette cleansing, and then bam, back in the game and again. Same thing I did for my 3DS. You have games on the 3DS as digital and some of that stuff, and more. It just worked out that way. But do I think Metal Gear Survivor is gonna be a popular game? I don't think so because of how it is. But if it is, then it goes again. Y'all wanted this progress. Y'all all you say, we don't want this. We don't want DRMs. We don't want always online game. We don't want all this crap. That's why a lot of these games, even YouTube channels that you guys know about, said that. What are they doing? Playing it, harking it, spending money on it. The same thing they said they don't want to do. So, what can I say? That's what you guys want. That's what you guys get. So, I want to listen to this and give on the next subject, which is a Metroid fan base are toxic by No Filter, a Nintendo podcast. Now, I've never listened to the video, so it could be a mic check situation. It could not be a mic check situation. I didn't want to add it onto that, but you know, I want to hear that because I'm a Metroid fan. But here's the thing, though. I don't think I'll be defending it the way people think they're going to defend it. Like I say, if he makes good points, just like I did with Clean Gaming a while ago back, which shout out, he did a new video called Breath of the Wild with Zelda that is not going to happen. Very good video. Have nothing really wrong to say about that video. And there you go. So I had one video that he was negative, that I was against him because he said crap in it to me, which was the Bayonetta. The thing that Nintendo needs to stop doing whatever. It was nuanced. It was some things I agree with, something I didn't agree with, but that one's equal. And if I have to say anything, the one about Breath of the Wild, a very good video, praise. I'll say go ahead and watch it because it's a very interesting video. Nothing dicey about it, and he's right that a lot of people will never learn from Breath of the Wild because, again, the same thing that's happening now with Konami and everything. People just want that style of gaming, but they don't want to, even though the game was Game of the Year and got directors, the wars out of the yin yang, whatever. Melman says we bought Horse Armor, and now look where we at. LOL. Hey, not we, but I understand you talking in the general sense of we. Yeah, that's true. So let's go into this right here and see what these guys have. Say.
The Metroid fanbase is the most toxic fanbase in all of gaming.
No, it's not. I have my issues with the Metroid fanbase, but it's not the most toxic in gaming. No, you go to your Call of Duty and your Destiny and all the other stuff, you're gonna see way worse than what it is. I'm happy the Metroid game is not an online franchise game where you can hear all kind of cursing and slang and derogative marks and all kind of crap. So on that point, it's not the most toxic. No, nowhere close.
That's a very tough seat to fill, but you know what? I feel like the Zelda fan base can maybe leave the throne for a little bit here and give that to the Metroid fan base.
If you talk about in the Nintendo situation, then I can see that they have some problems with that in Nintendo. If Nintendo's the circle itself, then I can see with that. I could cover a couple more with the Star Fox being, those guys are hypocritical a-holes, but let's go.
They have me worried, with Metroid Prime 4 coming out, and looking at the past Metroid games that have been announced and released and the fan reactions to a lot of these things. The fans are toxic, I strongly believe the Metroid fan base is one of the main reasons why the Metroid series hasn't grown into something bigger and more of a, no pun intended, prime series for Nintendo to focus.
And I agree with him on that one. 100%, I agree with you on that. Because that's where my argument comes from. You are so right about that one. I agree.
It's on develop into something like a Zelda or a Mario or an Animal Crossing or Mario Kart, anything like that.
Yep.
So let's go over a history of Metroid and see how the Metroid fan base has reacted. So the first Metroid was released along with Metroid 2 Return to Samus. I don't believe it really had the crazy cult following, by that time. However, following Metroid 2 Return to Samus on the Game Boy, Super Metroid came out, and I believe that is when the fans truly came out in droves.
And that is true. Even though what Metroid 1, as you know many times I've said, Metroid 1 and Metroid 2, I started with Metroid 2, then went back to Metroid 1. It, again, showed the first female protagonist. He also showed the games going left without no hints, and showing that the imaginative nature of gaming. Gonna pay your boy, may you rest in peace. showed how you could do stuff and find traps and ways to explore. Love it. So I was a fan from Prime, even though I wasn't there day one. Metroid Prime 2, not Metroid Prime 2, sorry, Metroid Return of Samus 2 for the Game Boy is where I fell in love with the game. Also, that game also showed that you could search and listen to cues and find out what's going on, and of course give us the suit that we basically infernalize right now, which is of course the various suit. Then went back to Metroid 1, enjoyed it. Now we're going to Super Metroid, which is one of my favorite Metroid games out there. Also, I got a little video about claiming which one is the best from all the Metroid games I've played.
No, and for good reason. Super Metroid is a fantastic game.
Yes, it is.
The game's held up on this pedestal. Well, yes, it is deserved. It does not negate every other game that comes out that it shouldn't be different than that. You know, the Metroid franchise, the series needs to develop and grow. And just because Super Metroid is a fantastic game in itself, the series needs to develop. And I think that's one of the main issues with the Metroid fan base is that they hold everything to not just the standard of Super Metroid, but everything to these conventions, the premise that they made in that one game to dictate the rest of the series going forward.
That is a half-truth. Those who play the game like I've played, I could see that in a way. I don't do that because even though I love that game, I've told you how I love other games because he's playing Metroid Other M. I love Metroid Other M. A lot of people don't like it because of certain things. And I will do a video about that one of these days. But yeah, but people mostly go with people. Yeah, but then there are people who just play the Prime games, which is why people are so happy for 4. That's where it is. Some people are holding Metroid Prime 1 as the pinnacle. So it's a half-truth that he's saying right there. And that's why I pointed that out.
That is usually something that is a terrible thing for a series and means that that series will not grow and develop. Look at a game like Call of Duty. After Call of Duty Modern Warfare, those games have stuck to that same formula for so long, and look at the hate that that game series gets now. You know, even with a game like World War II that was received pretty well.
I'll say he's kind of true again, half true, because the reason I'm saying that is they stuck to us the same thing. They didn't innovate. From Super Metroid games has innovate from the Prime even to the pinball, which was how the hell they turned that into a game that what it was, to of course Fusion, which is a derivative of Super Metroid, but they've made different leaps and bounds in the way they tell a story and telling the game. So it wasn't just like Call of Duty with how they just stick to that formula. Nintendo changed up the formula a couple times. So that part, like I say, is a half truth. I understand where he's coming from, but not in the way of comparing it to Call of Duty.
I think that's mainly because of how poorly the previous games were taken, and because it went back to its roots, almost as if it was a remake. And hold that thought about it being a remake. I'm going to get back to that point later on.
Okay.
The next game you had was Metroid Fusion, which I believe was received pretty well.
It was.
Some people still didn't like some of the changes
because it was linear,
smaller things, but I think that is more typical, just fan base kind of bickering that you'd see in almost any series. But after Metroid Fusion, quite quickly after Metroid Fusion, was Metroid Prime, which was the biggie. So this was the one where you're converting a 2D side-scrolling action-adventure game of Metroid to a 3D action-adventure first-person shooter game, which is kind of insane when you think about it. Let's use
Nintendo's nomenclature, which I tend to agree with. First-person adventure. Because there's a lot of first-person shooters I played that don't do what Nintendo with this game really did. The first-person adventure game. That's the way I look at it for real, because you're doing puzzles, you're doing maps, you're doing all kind of stuff other than just shooting like that.
Back in the day, switching anything from 2D to 3D, as you saw with, say, Mario 64, this is a biggie, and giving it to an unknown developer at Retro Studios, this was something big. And I remember there's a ton of backlash at the start for this.
That's true.
Thankfully,
I was one of them. I've documented it many times. I was one of the people who had a backlash because I was like, no, because all the time the damn news media, which we did on the internet profoundly then, was talking about this is gonna be first person shoot. I'm like, no, this is gonna be bad, blah blah blah. I did my video about that. Check out WTF 10, where I talk about hype. I'm not hype about games no more. That's basically where I break that down. But I was part of that too, and I was part of that too. Retro Studios was Iguana Studios. It's new studios, but it was a studio that made games that understand how to do certain things. And again, Nintendo basically hold the helm as Shigeru Miyamoto went there. Tetsuya Tanabe was there as well too. So, what you expect. Nintendo hold them to a certain degree. But anyway.
Over time, people came to understand it. It might not have been as long as some of the other games, but people come to understand that Metroid Prime is a fucking awesome game.
It is.
And so that's good to see. This one wasn't as crazy as it could have been with Metroid fans, but I think it's just a testament to how fantastic Metroid Prime was and how revolutionary it was on the GameCube. So,
it was a good game.
Metroid Prime 2 Echoes came out. A little bit of trepidation, I guess, against that, but I think it was still pretty positively received. Metroid Zero Mission.
Okay, so he's flipping. Okay, so there you go. So Metroid 2, which is one of my favorite Metroid Prime out of the 3 series, because it was something that it was. I love the whole dark thing, that the suit that you had to get to the light suit. It was annoying at the beginning, but I myself loved it because it kept you moving. You have to think forward. You was not just aimlessly shooting and staying there, or whatever, planning out nothing. Nothing against Prime 1 for what it did. But Prime 2 just kept me activated, and I love Prime 2. You don't have to say anything. That's why it's one of my most played. I think I played it 3 times, while Prime is 3 times. No, I think I played Prime 2 4 times, Prime 1 twice, and Prime 3 twice. Because of how I love that system of light, keep shooting and light phase on, so you could get in there, keep it shooting, fighting, just the constant movement. I love that. It was annoying with certain things, but the reason one of the things that people didn't like about Metroid Prime 2, just so he didn't knock onto it, was it had says far and few between. The fetch quest was a little annoying. I'm not going to deny that part. It was annoying because, again, no game is perfect. I always say that. And of course, it was difficult. They turned on difficulty in the trilogy, and the difficult was hard, but I persevered and I liked it, and that's why I like playing Metroid Prime 2 from the original disc more than the trilogy. I digress. Zero, great game, love it, enjoyed it.
Metroid Prime Pinball, Metroid Prime Hunters, and Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. So this is probably the heyday of the Metroid series. All of these games coming out, within, I believe, 5 or 6 years of each other. And, a lot of fantastic games there. A remake of the original Metroid Zero Mission, which is really cool to see. A spin-off in Pinball, which, because you have so many other games coming out, wasn't as much of a concern. Metroid Prime Hunters, which
was a fun game. I still tell people to pick that game up. How to turn that game into what it is. If you play and you're a Metroid fan, it's not as derivative as I thought it was. I thought it would be just a simple Samus the Morph Ball. No, it's using missiles, you're using guns. They did a good job of doing that. And you'll find the bosses from Prime. Not by just hitting them with the Morph Ball. No, you're still dropping bombs. Oh man, they did a great job with Metroid Prime Pinball.
Received some backlash, I think. But I don't remember too much about that. Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, which received some backlash as well, but mainly because some of the changes throughout the game, which I feel like are needed in a series that is long running, like the Metroid Prime series was. And
so see, he kind of proves my point and basically debunks his point, and you see that the games change. Unlike Call of Duty, that just came with the same, have a little tech there, you could do stuff, but yeah. Metroid changed. That's the difference. That's what I'm trying to put. That's what I was saying at the beginning, right there, when he talked about comparing to Call of Duty being that it was just no. That's why I said that.
And this is kind of going to lead into what I want to talk about with Metroid Prime 4, but let's get onto that later on here as well. Let's talk about this first game, Metroid Prime Trilogy. That game came out on the Wii. Fantastic. The 3 games for the $160 price with. Actually, I believe it was $50 on the Wii back then, which is insane. Comes with the collector's steelbook case, with the art book, everything. This was incredible and perfect for a series like this.
Yes, it was.
But the other Wii game comes out, Metroid Other M.
Disclaimer,
people. This game is fucking good.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Again, I never watched the video, so this shout outs to Brownie Takashi, because he's the one who He's the one who basically shared this, and I wanted to see that. But thank you. Trigger alert, people. This game is an awesome game.
It is a good game. In my opinion, a great game.
So I agree with you myself, sir. I agree with you myself.
One of the best games on the Wii.
Again, I agree with you myself.
Seriously. And I know it's subjective, but anyone who says otherwise, you're fucking dumb.
Okay, he's going to further. It's subjective, and I'll leave that there. But this is an awesome game. It has its major flaw. It has more major flaws than most other games. I give it that. That's why I said, but just to give it that. But the way it closes some plot holes between Fusion and Super Metroid, the way that certain things work in this game. Again, the game was not broken. Controls did work. The point of being the first-person shooter, that was where coming from Metroid Prime, where you can move all around and do things. That's what I did. That I gave a glitch to that, and the story was good, except for the part where Adam had to, they tell more backstory of Samus, which I like, and how that Adam had to, she's fighting a fire monster. She didn't put on her fire suit. That was just stupid. That was stupid. I commit the faults of the game, but the game itself as gameplay and having fun, love it.
No, but seriously though, this game is fucking good.
It is.
Complain. People want to complain. They just want to push it. And this is where the Metroid fan base
really splits.
Fucking terrible. What they go about here is because it's this change, it switches up things a little bit here. All of a sudden now, the story is fucking awful. I hate this game. Since fucking when has the Metroid Prime series ever had a story that people actually really give a fuck about?
I kind of disagree with him right there because I am one of the biggest Metroid fans out there, and I got a video of that for anybody who's listening now. I got a video on my channel. You can go to the Metroid playlist. I have all the games. I worked on. I used I met Kenji Yamamoto, who helped develop the music for this game. I used some of his music pieces to make my own music as a music producer, and have signed copies of music pieces and games and exclusive signed copies of games and stuff like that. That I have every Metroid game out there, played every one of them, enjoyed it. 100% almost everyone except for one, which is Metroid Federation Force, because it was built to be a multiplayer, and I've not 100% of that, but I'm 100% all the other games. And in just like I said, the story, I do enjoy the story. If you really go through all the lore and everything from the comic book that shows how the beginning and everything, the story is very interesting and is very good. I understand the problem in here again for how Adam commanded Samus to do certain things that was kind of stupid. But I respect Adam for what it is, because in Fusion we didn't know who Adam was, except for the expository of what was Samus's memory, and you didn't know how the how should I say it? And in this shows the reverence to what he called he respected Adam. Sakamoto, I met him too. I'm happy that he did what he did. He had some major plot holes between Fusion and Super Metroid and Fusion, and this game basically closes majority of those loops up.
They care about the characters, which it had in there, and that's pretty much it. I get that some people didn't like how Samus was kind of acting around Adam and all that kind of stuff, but this is a fucking
because she looked up as Adam as a father figure. Again,
Metroid game people. It's not like that was complete blasphemy. It kind of corresponds to some of her character in the previous games.
Thank you.
But the actual game, the gameplay is fucking fun.
Yes, it is.
Innovative.
Yes.
People needed to fucking calm down with this, because this is the main reason why the Metroid series was not revisited again for many, many years. And
so what happened to Star Fox? Because of the same bullshit. You asked for everything you asked for. Nintendo gave you a Star Fox Zero, and you guys poo-pooed on it because you guys can. And You talk the shit, but you don't speak the money. Going opposite of what I talked earlier with the gaming about. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot. AAA, you give them, even though you tell them you don't want DRM, always online game, blah, 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 but you still a microtransaction and loot boxes, but you still buy them. You spoke with your wallet, even though you said loudly, we don't want them. But then you want certain things in these games and they give it to you, but you don't speak with your wallet. Then that's the kind of annoyance I hate with modern gaming right now. It's just toxic as hell. Hey, if you enjoy the game element, that is cool. I'm happy that you do enjoy it. And like I said, as a gameplay, like I said, if you was, I can understand if people saying they didn't like other M if the game was broken. It wasn't. The controls were shitty. It wasn't. It worked. It worked buttery smooth. So I don't get it. Yeah, major glitches, no game breaking bugs. No, I can understand if they were saying that, but it didn't have that. And games that have game breaking bugs and stuff, people still praise, which is weird. Skyrim has game breaking bugs, but people praise it to high heavens. So it's weird how that works out that way. It's, to me, it's just what's going on with the industry. Well, that's what's going on with the industry now. Is that messed up?
And that's because of the Metroid fan base. This switched things up, this changed things, made it better gameplay-wise, in my opinion, than the 2D Metroids. And it had the innovation with the, going to first-person view for puzzle-solving aspects.
Yep.
But now it has the stigma of being a terrible Metroid game. Everyone wants to piggyback onto that.
Yep.
That's just something people say without actually thinking about the gamer.
You know what? I'll say this too. I might, now that I got my computer up and running, the other one I have, I will cut this piece out and put it as its own, so we could have this. Because this is so far, I'm liking having this conversation with, not conversation, but discussing this with this guy through the internet and talking about it. This will be his own piece. I'll cut it from the main thing and this own piece because I'm liking what I'm seeing right now.
Anyway. That is where the Metroid fan base really kind of jumped everywhere and just kind of went crazy. So after that, there is a long hiatus. This is where I think Nintendo kind of had a bad go here. I think they were kind of in a bad situation with the Wii U and the 3DS anyway, with the 3DS doing really well and the Wii U doing very poorly. But they did come out with Metroid Prime Federation Force. Yeah, it's definitely a bit tone deaf on Nintendo's part. The complete change after the hiatus was not a great idea.
I give you that.
3DS when everyone wants the next big Metroid game. That's a little odd, having a multi.
I'll give you that, but there's other games that went on the 3DS and got a resurgence, which is Fire Emblem, which is, because remember there was Path of Radiance Dawns and also it was on the Wii, and it went to the Awakening. Gave it a great big boost. So with Kirby, so. Again, that part right there, you fell far when I could hear other games that went 3DS and they got reversions as well too onto the big console. So tone deaf in trying to do a multiplayer, whatever, what people were asking for, I give you that. But tone deaf of going to another console, the console choice, like you said, I think not.
But eccentric, people are expecting more of a return to form. That would have been great for a.
Well, here you go. I disagree with you on that too because I talked to again Cincinnati and them and how people wanted. People wanted a multiplayer Metroid game. They've been saying that since before Hunters, and they got Hunters and they enjoyed it, and they say want more like that. So people was because of online game and everything. Now that's what people wanted, but so I don't think they were tone deaf in that regard. But again, people, you ask for it, they give it to you. People didn't want it.
Maybe a remake or something. We'll see. That might have been good for something like that, but no, they don't get that. And I think the big killer was them announcing it with Blast Ball. First off, you have these chibi-looking things that don't look like it, so I get Metroid fans not liking it, but then...
not really. Fake Metroid fans.
With Blast Ball, don't get the name. It was terrible marketing, and hopefully Nintendo's learned from it.
Yeah, they learn from it that don't listen to what gamers say. They're full of shit. Which that's what they did with Breath of the Wild. That's what they did with Nintendo Switch. That's what I'm happy they did all that shit. Fuck the people. Let's make our games and have fun with it. And again, I was on Nintendo in Japan, 2015, and I've said many times that was what people were saying and saying an atmosphere inside Nintendo. when they see how they did to the Wii U and all this stuff, they're like, you know what? F third parties, have fun making what we like to make and put it out there. Because of Nintendo's budgeting, which is the key aspect of why Nintendo is such a multi-profitable company, have over $14 billion in the bank, because they have their budget. Their budget is the number one key that makes the game. Even if a game is not profitable, they don't lose a lot of money off it because they budget the game low. Unlike, again, like said, Metal Gear Solid, like I said earlier in another video, if you guys listening now or earlier this video, where you spend $140 million to make Metal Gear Phantom Pain 5, and after $6 million, when they sold it for $6 million, it still wasn't profitable. And same thing with Final Fantasy 15, which I worked on. Final Fantasy 15, which I have a video that I might pull out of that because people asked me a question about that. But Final Fantasy 15, where you needed to make 10 million, you need to sell 10 million to make its profit. Nobody's been talking about Final Fantasy 15 saying 10 million because he has not. It's been a financial flop. Sad to say it is. But Nintendo budget games, Star Fox Zero didn't sell that well, but it didn't lose the ass on it like Square did, or Konami or Capcom, whatever. That's what they do. And if the game with the budget, and then when the game does sell well, like a Kirby, like I've explained with Kirby's not Rainbow Curse, Kirby's Triple Deluxe is the one with the Planet Robo, where they needed 250 to sell to make profit, and Japan smashed that in the first week. So as soon as it came, when it came almost 3 weeks later into America and Europe, it was making profits from day one when it came to the console, when it came to this side of Japan, of the world. So that's what budgeting do. Real good. And same thing with Mario Kart Wii, when they made over $2 billion off of one game. Why? Because it sold over 37 million copies. They weren't looking for 37 million to sell. They were looking, Nintendo were looking for 5 million to sell, and they smashed that.
The game itself, though, was not bad. And this is, again, where the Metroid fans just blatantly don't even look at what the game is.
Yep.
If it's different than Super Metroid or the Metroid Prime that they know.
Exactly.
Prime 3 is a little bit different because it holds the Prime name, but people also didn't like it because they went to different worlds. They made Marines. It wasn't you shipwrecked on the planet or whatever.
It was still a great game.
This is where the Metroid fans didn't care about it being a good game. They cared about it being a game like Super Metroid or the original Metroid Prime.
There you go. I like the way I'll say this. I like the way that he's differentializing, because that's what you have Super Metroid being the pinnacle for the 2D, and you have Prime 1 being the pinnacle for the 3D world, and you have those two games that people keep on arguing and butting heads about. Those are the two different fan bases we have, because there's a lot of people who play 3D Metroids and never played the 2D, and a lot of 2D Metroids and never played the Prime games. So I like the distinction that he's talking about, which is true, and I give my nods off for that. But again, he's right, because people are so stupid to see. They don't see that they have the games in front of them. They don't want to play the game. They listen to a lot of people's bull crap, and then they don't even experience it for themselves.
They will never let the game series grow.
Nope,
Again,
that's
not
true.
Judging the game on its merits.
Yep.
From a renowned developer too. Next Level Games. The game was not bad, people. It was
No, it wasn't.
game. I enjoyed it.
So did I.
Kind of what I was bringing up with Metroid Prime Federation Force. That was bad timing. After a long hiatus like that, what would have been perfect, a remake. That's what would have been a good thing, to reintroduce the Metroid series to the fans, and that's what they did with Metroid Samus Returns.
Yep.
Again, there was some hate at the start because the developer of that has a Metroid. But yeah, I remember people trying.
No, the developer of it does have to do with Metroid. The thing that people keep on forgetting, Nintendo give credit to people who we outsource some of their project, doing the assets and everything. But most of those games are developed by Nintendo. They just needed extra work hand to do it. Nintendo only has 5,000 people in its organization, and that, of course, that all 5,000, of course, are developers. If I have to be accurate about it, I think most of Nintendo's true R&D, EPD, everything that's all combined, whatever, is basically maybe about less than 1,000. And everything else is business and PR and operational costs and all kind of other stuff. That's what it is. So yeah, they're gonna. I came with the idea. Hey, can you send me some temp workers to come? Hey, you guys could do. You guys could build something good. I'm the architect. You could build something good. Okay, let me design this thing the way you want, and you guys help develop and build it. oh, let me get in there and hammer nail here. Let me hammer nail here. I think that part was not that good. Let me show you this back. That's what it is. But people got it this weird ass way, which it puzzles me. But that's the true underpinnings of what goes on when Nintendo do stuff like same thing with Star Fox, same thing with with Bayonetta, all that stuff. It's just weird. And I'm not gonna say Bayonetta because it was that, but people from Nintendo did went to help Wonderful 101 and Nintendo help code for the Wii U so you can run smoothly as possible on the Wii U. That's what they did. That's what it did. Same thing with Kid Icarus. I see everybody else is joining in. What's up, everybody? Same thing with Kid Icarus. Nah, don't ever say that. Double A, Metroid is Nintendo's Halo, they said. You know, whoever said that, that's why they're so crazy. Metroid Prime 4 better have multiplayer, they say now. Well, whatever. We'll see how that works out. You guys are going crazy in that regard. Funny. Let's continue though.
It's shit on it, you know. Whatever it is, there people are trying to say, "Hey, this isn't Super Metroid. Super Metroid's much better than this." Fuck off with nostalgia glasses, people. Seriously.
Yep.
It is entirely subjective. But here's an example. I played Metroid Samus Returns before I played Super Metroid. I played.
Hey, so did I.
Super Metroid on my new Nintendo 3DS after I played Metroid Samus Returns on 3DS, and I enjoyed Samus Returns more. That's just what it is. This is from a person who did not play Super Metroid beforehand. I did like the art from Super Metroid more, but the actual game, how it was put together, in my opinion, Samus Returns is better. So trying to say that just writing off Samus Returns as a nothing because it's not Super Metroid is stupid. And I know it's not everybody doing that, but
yeah,
and there's actually quite a lot of Metroid fans that are backing and really like Samus Returns, but there are still some others.
They didn't really back it, but maybe you might talk about it, but they didn't really back it because their money did not, again, their wallets was not walking with what it said. Their wallets was nowhere close. This game should have made $1 million by the end of sold $1 million by the end of 2017, and it didn't. Why? Because people talk a lot, talk the talk, and don't back the shit up. I hate that.
Out there, and that's the toxicity that I hope doesn't drag over.
That is true, and I agree with you there. The toxicity.
So this part is based off facts. There's no sources here, but it feels like a lot of Metroid fans don't actually buy the games. You know, the series itself.
Oh, it don't feel. We know. We got the numbers. I got the numbers, and I know that they don't buy the daggone games. You're 100% correct, sir. 110% correct, sir. They don't back the game. So that thank you. I said it. I prejudgedly said it, but I'm happy that you addressed it. It is true. It's not a feel. It's true.
Has not performed as well as it seems to with the vocal minority, and I do feel like a lot of Metroid fans are not buying the new games. As clear with Federation Force for sure. Even yes, with Samus Returns, they do not buy the games if it's not the original Super Metroid.
If it's not the Super Metroid or it's Metroid Prime, because they talk all that shit. But here's the funny part about it, and maybe you might talk about it again. Remember, Metroid Prime sold 3. Then Metroid Prime 2 within a year they needs to make the money and everything that people put into their budget. The Metroid Prime 2 sold 2. Metroid Prime 3 sold 1 million. It kept on going down. So yeah. Metroid Prime fans are full of crap, and that's where I got the problem with them. Toxicity, no, but pain in the asses who talk a lot of crap and don't back it up, exactly.
You know, and that is a terrible thing to see.
Yes,
and that is another thing that money talks, and if the games aren't selling, changes to Metroid aren't going to happen.
Thank you.
They will re-release. Maybe they'll make a game that really tries to cater to this vocal minority, this toxic fan base, but that's not a good thing to do. Hold back the whole series and not make it anything better or bigger than it already was.
Same thing with Star Fox.
Metroid Prime 4. When Metroid Prime 4 comes out, it is going to be something unique. It is going to be something special. It will be different than the Metroid Prime trilogy. It is not from the same developer. I'm sure they have some sort of discussion about where they thought they would go with the series.
It is basically, it's from the same developing lead team, like I was saying. This is now just heading up that. So I have no problem of where Metroid Prime is going. As long as he's at the helm and he making sure what the game is doing, I'm okay. And he makes sure that the game is working, I'm okay with that.
But it's not from the same developers. It will not be the same as Metroid Prime Trilogy, and it shouldn't be.
True.
Those games can stay by themselves as classics, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
But leave those as they are and let Metroid Prime 4 have a chance. It needs
exactly.
to be something different. And how I feel, these nostalgic little crybabies are freaking out whenever there's a change.
Yep.
You guys, this can't happen for Metroid Prime 4. Metroid Prime 4 needs to be something new, and who knows, maybe with Metroid Prime 4, they're going to try to bring in a new audience, maybe have multiplayer.
Ooh, there you go, Anderson, the whole multiplayer thing. I don't hope so. Please do not focus on multiplayer, Nintendo. Please. This game was built on a single player atmosphere. I know Federation Force tried it, where you had a bigger install base and you think people would do it, and same thing with Hunters. But please do not try to do. You tried it with Prime, Metro Prime 2, and it didn't work out. You did it haphazardly. I don't want you to focus on, because what this game core, with this franchise, is basically you working your way to be taking on the world or the planet or whatever it is. You're the main driver. This has been and always been a single player focused game. So please don't do that. Please.
But they need to have a fair shot here.
That is true.
Not meant to be the same as Metroid Prime 1, and it won't
True.
be, and it shouldn't be, and I hope to God it isn't.
I agree with you on that.
Be something new, something different, but with the Metroid Prime name, and likely as a first-person adventure game.
Good. Happy that you said that.
With the Switch, with new hardware,
yep.
You guys are the bane to gaming. If this is how you're really feeling, and this is how you're pushing the Metroid Prime series.
That is true.
And this is a reason why games like Call of Duty do so well. So
yep.
Fuck off. Anyways, guys, those are my thoughts about the Metroid Prime, just the Metroid fans in general, and how toxic they are.
You see, you wanted to say Prime.
It can be applied to a ton of people.
Yep.
In Nintendo game communities.
Yep.
Like Zelda, like Mario.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of games like this can, and their fans can be kind of incorporate something like this. But I really do feel like Metroid is getting hindered so badly by its fans that this needs to change and this needs to stop. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video.
You know what? I enjoyed this video, and I will give you a like. I know about subscribing because I got to listen to the rest of your content, but I will give you a like. Why? Because it was good. Yeah, there's some disagreements there and there, but you know what? I liked it. I really did. Good video, sir. Good for you. You're not one of the sheeples of other people out there, or should I say flies that follow to the shit that's going on, okay? I'm happy that you did. This is basically a good video, and I enjoyed it. And like I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this part off in its own thing and put it, put it in the Metroid playlist because it needs to. Because I enjoyed the video, like the little back and forth. He's one of those guys who saw what it is in most cases. And yeah, it's awesome. This is like I said, I don't think Metroid fans are toxic in the way of the word toxic needs to be. I just think they're full of fake wannabes who claim to the way that you describe, which I like the way you did it, to Super Metroid and Prime only, and think, oh, this is the pinnacle of the game. We need lightning to strike twice again. It doesn't like that. Give the games time to breathe. Play the games. Majority of the people who talk bad about the games, they never played the games. Like I said, Pinball, awesome game for what it did. Fusion, Federation Force, yeah. Like I said, the only reason I did 100% in the game, and that game is a multiplayer setup, and I have not did it, but I liked the game. It was still cool. I had a problem with the Chubby style thing. Hell, I'm playing what's the game I'm playing? Overdrive Battle. Overdrive. Oh, Phantom Battle Overdrive. I'm playing Phantom Battle Overdrive. That's what I'm playing, and I'm enjoying, and it's Chubby style, but it's a fun ass game. The magical word of fun, and that's why I like it. So good in that regard. See, Samus Return proved that all these Metroid fans how much they care about the franchise. Exactly, you're right about that. All mouth and no action. Exactly, Santiago 316 and Trail 83. You're right about that. Metroid Prime ended up to be a trilogy, so let it end that way. Hey, we play Federation Force. You see it. I have no problem against it, but it is what it is. Let's see what happened. I just want a great game. That's all. I don't care about these MP, if there's MP or not. I'm with you on that. True. I just want a good game as well, too. I'm kind of mixed. I like to see multiplayer in Metroid, but have it be its own feel rather than linked to near to Samus Aran. Well, that was Federation Force, Ying Yao. That was what Federation Force was, and people still didn't go for it. So that if you are to play that game, that was Serenity 3 just said it. That was Motivation Force. If you think that that's important, I think you should have go Motivation Force. They gave you the game that, and I'm not attacking you, Ying Yao, because like I said, I know who you are. When I say that's what a lot of fans was asking for, and they got it, and they poo-pooed on it, just like they did with Star Fox Zero, just like they did with they poo-pooed on it, just like they did with Star Fox Zero, and just like they did with Metroid Samus Returns. They poo-pooed it, didn't want to hear nothing about it. That's the sad part about it. That's the hurt part about it. So, yeah, people just talk a lot of talk, and it was not the best of the best with these people talking this bull crap. They don't back up what they say. They talk all this crap. That's why I have a hate for the Metroid fan base, because it's not because they, like you said, toxic because they say, racist things or end bombs or all kind of crazy stuff like that. No, it's because they whatever. That's again, if you have online playing, that's going to be coming, of course, but not because of that. It's because they do not back up, as Santiago said, and everybody, they don't back up their mouth with their wallet. They talk the talk, but damn it, when it comes to pay the money, they listen to other people and don't buy it. Metroid Samus Return should have sold 1 million by the end of 2017. Great game, got reviews, got Game of the Year, got a Game of the Year award. Great reviews. Samus is back to being silent. Everything that people said they didn't want it and had a little nuance to it. I love Metroid Return of Samus. I love Metroid Return of Samus, the original game, but I gotta say, 2 is the remake is way better. Just like the remake for Zero was way better. I gotta give it nods that they did a good job. And Tetsuya Tanabe, who worked on 2 and on up, I'm happy that he did. And man, my hats is off to a good guy. That's the thing that bugs me. I saw the reaction. Exactly. That's the point. People asked for it. They didn't want it. So again, that's why I don't want Nintendo. Nintendo, try your best. Cater to some fans. I don't know. It's a delicate balance. It really is. But man, I just that's like I did part of the video. The part of the video. You guys are just joining in now. Santiago, Ying, whatever. Go back to the beginning as I explain how the gaming market is with visuals. I think you guys will like it. Go up to the beginning of this video and watch it, because you were laughing about it, because we talked about how Konami right now is charging $10 for a extra game slot. It's a microtransaction. You got loot boxes, and it's a single player game with always online. Yeah, all the stuff that people said in 2013 they didn't want to do, but you know what? They relent and they buy the crap anyway. So that's the part that kills me. Gamers are full of crap now. That's why the market is what it is right now. That's why if people talk about, I can't wait to get all digital. Broken games and all this crap is in these games. If that's what you want, all digital, where you can't return a game, go ahead with that crap. I don't want it. I'm gonna buy physical games, and if it comes to the point, even if Nintendo does it, I'm done with gaming. I have more than 500 games in my house. I could play them as long as it is cool from the disc game. I only did with the disc drive, which is kind of sucky, but it depends on that. But I don't play them as long as I can. Hell, like I said, my Dreamcast, God lovingly, is still working, and I'm playing games on that still from 2001. Same thing with my 64. So I'm gonna be playing games on Super Nintendo, of course. I'm gonna be playing games for a while until I'm old and dead. But if the gaming industry is trying to destroy itself, go right ahead. Let them destroy themselves. We had a face palm to that. I also did see that MC2, my 2 cents on some of that stuff. Thought it was forced on the Triforce of videos extra credits did. Oh, yeah. Got you. And I want to clear something up because I hope I didn't misunderstand you, Ying Yao, because we ain't talked, and then a belated birthday for you and everything. I want to say this to you, because you commented on something, I want to make sure you understand this before I head out of here, which is this. The video I thought about Nintendo faults is the biggest fault because there are a couple games like Xenoblade. I put hours in the Xenoblade. Now, Zelda Breath of the Wild, and I talked to this with Triple M and everything. Zelda Breath of the Wild, I have no problem of playing that game. I have no problem playing that game over again because it was fun. The atmosphere is fun. Again, shout out to Clean Prince Gaming. He got a video about that, which again, I basically said he was wrong about Bayonetta. I was basically half and half, like I'm doing right here in a way, but I agree with this guy more, but half and half on when you talk about what Nintendo needs to do, and Nintendo needs to stop doing that. There was some nuances in there, and I want you to go and check out the one he did on Zelda Breath of the Wild. That is really good, and I liked it, and I enjoyed it. Really good game video about why Breath of the Wild, the right game. Basically, he clickbaited a little bit, but he said why it's not Breath of the Wild is not going to be revolutionary as people think it is, because why third parties are not going to take what Breath of the Wild did. They're going to just keep on doing the microtransactions as they do right now. Microtransaction, loot boxes, all the crazy shit that's still going on right now. So yes, I could be a nuanced person. I could like certain things, even for the same person. I don't hate him. I don't attack the person's character most of the time. I ain't gonna lie with you. Really, I talk with the content of that person putting out. But in that regard, in that video, I said Nintendo's flaw with not having a way to back up your files is, again, if you're playing a game like Xenoblade 2, I'm playing Xenoblade 2. There's some games that you can start over and have fun with. But Xenoblade 2, I put a lot of hours in that game, and I'm not beating the game. And if my file get corrupted or something goes wrong and I can't back it, which if I back it up, there will be no problem, I will be pissed as hell. I'll be angry. And most of the time, and that happened to me once already on my Wii with Arc of Fantasia. I should have beaten that game. That game should have been done beaten. But when that game got corrupted and got messed up, it knocked me back to a couple saves be up to the back. And I have not beaten the game because I just feel because I did a lot of grinding to get to the level I was at to defeat the end boss. And I'm at the point where I've searched everywhere, done all the crazy stuff except for the end map. I've searched everywhere because once you get in there, you can't back out. So I've searched everywhere to grind, whatever. And I'm at the spot where I could grind the most, but it just is not the strongest grinding where I could get. It takes hours to get back to where I was, which was a pain in the ass to lose that. And I've not gone back to that game because I gotta do that, and it don't feel fun to go do that. When the game was on my mind, I was enjoying it. I was like, okay, I gotta grind, but I'm thinking, but after losing that progress like that and being pissed off, it's like, oh man, that sucks. And in that regard, I could have, and that's on me. I could have in that case, I could have copied over to another thing, which I didn't know it was going to be corrupted anyway. But when I have the Wii U now, I've showed you videos about. I showed you a video about it, how to do it. I backed up all my games on a USB thumb drive because in case something happens, boom, I plug it in, have it fun. You saw that. I got a video about that. That's what they didn't need to do. You have an SD card in there. Back up something. Please let me back up the saves on the SD card. I hated that they might do it in the online system that you got to back it up in some cloud, and you got to pay for the online service for that. I think that's what they're going to do, again, because they listen to these dumbass gamers who taking them from the core, which I don't like, but that's my thinking of what they're going to do. But have it that, or let me put a thumb drive into the Switch USB and back it up like the Wii U did. Just give me the option that could back up my saves in case something happens. That's all I asked for in the flaw. It's a major flaw because, again, if you went through like I did, a lot of people who went through who play the game and grind and everything, and they lost their progress or they dropped their Switch and something happened and you couldn't back it up or something, you'll be pissed. Or like the 3DS. The 3DS did cloud through your internet to save on your PC. I've done that. They should have done that too. But if you have the SD card, yeah, you should back it up. Let me back it up on my SD card. All I gotta do is it does get destroyed. Pop out the SD card, put it on your Switch. Let me say that, hey, I am the new owner, blah, blah, blah. Give me a little more courtesy if you want security, and let me have my saves on my new Switch if something ever happens. So that's why I had a problem with that itself. That's why I call it the flaw, because again, you saw it in the video, I had a computer broken apart. I've lost data that I really pissed offly wish I had. And I don't know, this time I backed it up, but somehow it still got corrupted because of the hard drive, and I was pissed. I lost a video that had a family all together talking. I had an interview with a couple people that I was going to use for my new radio show and everything, and it's gone. And it was, and also videos I was going to do for another video for somebody else, and it's gone. And I did backed it up, but it disappeared. And it was like, oh my God. So yes, it's frustrating to lose data when you need it. So I think they should do that. Yeah, I'd rather they do that like they did with the Wii U. And that's exactly what I'm saying. I hope they do it like the Wii U in that regard. So, like I said, I gotta get out of here. Gotta do some stuff. So, like I said, I'm gonna cut this piece out because, like I said, I love this. As you saw that I did, I thumbs it up because it's a good video. Good job, man. I might put in there, hey, great video. I responded to it on my channel. And when I say cut it out, I'll put a comment in there for him and see response and see what he said. But love the video. That's why I thumbs it up. And again, yeah, it's something that's needed to be talked about because Metroid fans are so damn toxic. No ifs, ands about that. It is, and it sucks. But this is LBC News. So Konami, I don't know what you're doing. Capcom, again, you're doing your normal bull crap, so I'm not surprised. Phil Spencer admitting how bad it is. Let me see. Let me see if I can share that. Let me see if I can find that that article so you guys could check it out. Let me see. Which is a good read, and it just points out why this thing keeps on doing it. I don't get it. Okay. Every time I go to a new one, it always does that. Let me share the okay, so it is from Eurogamer.net. There you go. You see on the screen. Eurogamer.net. Xbox chief Phil Spencer. Microsoft needs a reboot. Companies exclusively and recovering from the Xbox One launch. And this goes. It basically is a good read. I think you go read about it. I'm happy that Phil Spencer found out that it's not. It is harder than it is, but if they stay with it, and I mean, it's a good article, and I'm liking that he is saying he's finding out, wow, yeah, it's toxic, the gaming community, and taking over from Diametric and helping Xbox One and the culture as the transfer is hard and demanding work. Like it is, and it's slow and incredible to painfully get everybody on board. Like I said, I read this thing; it's a very good read. You can go check it out again. It's yourgamer.net. Xbox chief Phil Spencer, Microsoft needs a reboot. Good read, talking about what's going on in gaming, and I think people should check it out. With that said, you guys know who I am. For those who are just joining in right now, again, go back to the beginning because you missed a nice little explanation of what's going on in 2018. We already got our first big messed up in 2018, and I explained that with a visual aid, which is again, I know I'm gonna get copyrighted because I use the visual as a movie, but hey, it explains it just so perfect why the industry is shitty as it is right now. So shout outs to Mailmint, Trill 83, Ying Yao, Double A, Santiago 316, and anybody else who joined on later. Thank y'all for joining in. Y'all have a good day. And you know what I always say, there's no perfect game out there. What's perfect to you is not perfect to me. What's perfect to me is not perfect to you. Simply enjoy your games on every console, even PC. Peace out.